Hey guys, and welcome back to another video, and in this one we're going to be continuing with our New York Mets franchise in MLB The Show 19. This is going to be the first offseason in this game that I go through, so I'm looking forward to it. We got a couple of decisions to be made, a couple of things to do with this roster moving forward, but before we get into that, there's two things I want to take care of. One, I found the sponsorships. They're tucked away under unlockables in the manage tab, I guess you could call it. So they're pretty important to do. Now, I don't really have too many here to choose from, and I'm not necessarily sure if certain ones go with certain options here. I mean, I would assume that, you know, the batter walk-up and the active replay go better with kind of like per homer, per hit, per run, things like that. And the in-game ticker would go better with per game or per win. But again, I'm not entirely sure anything past that. So if you know more about this than I do, feel free to let me know in the comments. It would definitely be helpful and appreciated. But yeah, so the in-game ticker, since we don't really have too many to choose from here, we're going to go with per win. The active replay will do per run. And the batter walk-up per game. It doesn't really fit. But it's better to get something in there, I guess. So moving forward, because the sponsorship is really important, bringing in some money for the organization. But yeah, moving forward with the playoff bracket, which we did not go through in the previous video. I do apologize again to kind of cut it off like that. The PlayStation, I was really nervous about it stopping the recording because it was kind of getting to the point where it would stop, and I didn't want it to really mess anything up. So for the playoffs after the 2019 season, we got Philly and Milwaukee in the NL wildcard, the Indians and the Yankees in the AL wildcard, and the division winners in the NL, we got the Dodgers, the Cardinals, and the Braves. And then in the AL, we have the Athletics, who beat the Astros. Okay, the White Sox made it in the Central. That's unexpected, kind of just in terms of how quickly they got to the playoffs. And then Tampa. Wait, where's the Wait, Boston didn't make it. That's impossible. Boston didn't make it. They're ranked 8th, and they went 82-80. How did Boston not make it? How did the Astros not make it? How did the Astros have the same record as the... I'm confused. That's weird. Nothing against the Rays. They're a good team. You know, the Athletics are a good team. They're both teams that are kind of like... They had good seasons last year. You know, it's not going to be too much of a surprise if they make the playoffs. But to beat, like, the Astros and the Yankees and the Red Sox in their divisions, that's insane. That's really unlikely to happen. Again, they're good teams, but just really unlikely to happen that way. And I'm really surprised that the Red Sox only went 82-80. That's a very disappointing year. I don't think that'll happen in real life, but you know, it happened here. So let's move forward into the playoffs and see who made it. We got the Phillies advancing. Not the Braves. The Brewers have been eliminated in the wild card along with the Indians. So we got the Yankees moving in to face the Tampa Bay Rays in the AL. Through the division series. That's further than the division series. All right, we got the Phillies in the World Series. So they won the NL. The Dodgers are out. St. Louis is out. Atlanta is out. In the AL, Oakland and Tampa were eliminated, and it's 2-2 in the ALCS. All right, so the White Sox have been eliminated, and it's the Yankees against the Phillies. Replay of 2009 World Series. I really don't know who to root for, being a Mets fan. So Yankees are up 3-2. The Yankees have defeated the Phillies in the 2019 World Series. So really close. It would have been like perfect for the Phillies to win this, considering Harper's on the cover. And he went to the Phillies and they had a huge offseason, but just shy to winning it all. The Yankees, of course, get their 1000th World Series trophy. Okay, moving on. Not the most fun playoffs for a Mets fan here, but the Yankees won, and now it's time to get into the offseason. We have anybody retiring with coaches? No, apparently not, but players retiring. We got Gregor Blanco and Rajai Davis retiring Alright, so two nice veterans that really didn't play too much for us. Blanco didn't play at all. Davis was in one game. He had a stolen base, but he did not really do too much. Alright, so they're both retiring. We got Vargas retiring. Anybody else? Just go through here quickly. Ramirez is retiring. Ian Kennedy, Albert Pujols, Mark Canha. Surprised they have him retiring. He's only a 64? No, he's better than a 64, I think. We got Ichiro. It's so sad to see him go. Unfortunately, in real life, he's already retired. Yeah, that sucks. So we got Jason Hamill. Brian McCann. Only had one hit. But at least he got the one hit, and it was a home run going back to the Braves. So that's nice, at least, that happened. Who else? Eric Kratz, the older catcher from the Brewers last season. He's retiring. Dexter Fowler. Apparently he did not have a comeback season in this game. Surprised he's already a 60. They have him at a deep potential. It's a little unfair, I think. That's a little unfair. I mean, 2017, he did good. Not too bad. Yachty is retiring. I don't think he would in real life. I think he plans to go through his contract, but not a bad player. Potential Hall of Famer here. Hit 282, almost 2,000 hits as a really great defensive catcher. So he's retiring. Wainwright's also retiring. Had a very nice career. Anybody else? Rich Hill? And I'm not going to go through the free agents because that goes on for quite a bit. So, a couple guys retiring. The only ones to make it into the Hall of Fame are Ichiro and Albert Pujols. Both probably first ballot Hall of Famers. I think that's safe to say. Alright, so moving into the offseason. Exclusive free agents. We have a couple here. Hector Santiago, we're probably going to move on from him. I might bring back Avilan. A lot of this depends on how much they actually want, and that's a bit much. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, he's definitely not guaranteed a spot in the bullpen. Yeah, we might not bring him back. I think I'm going to move on from d'Arnaud. Hitchevaria, 2.8 for someone who's not really going to play too much in the majors. Probably not going to bring him back. I think I want to move on from Wheeler. You know, he didn't really... The majority of the season wasn't too strong for him, so I think I am going to move on. He is trending up, so I'm kind of curious. What if we give him like a 1 year... No. What if we give him like a 1 year deal and see how he does? Let's try it. Lagares, if it's not too expensive, 4.7. Hold on. What's our budget at? It's already at 131. And we still have to make a lot of signings. Alright, so this is a little tough here. I do want to bring back Tehran. He's cheaper than Wheeler. I think Tehran would be a very nice number 4 or number 5 starter, depending on the other starters that we have aside from Syndergaard and DeGrom. Because I think Matt's right now is more of a 4 or 5 starter as well. Wheeler is questionable. I don't even know for sure if we're going to bring him back, but I wouldn't mind having Tehran on the team. Maybe a 2 year deal? Just kind of see how he does. I don't want to lock him up too long. Lagares. I'm going to hold off on Lagares as well. And same with Wheeler. You know, we got a lot of guys walking here. Lagares and Wheeler are two guys that I might come back to. Maybe Avilan if his price drops, but I'm not too sure that it would. And d'Arnaud, Hechavarria, and Santiago are all going to walk. So, that does that. Let's sim to the beginning of free agency here and see what we have to work with. The salary arbitration we got to do. I'm not going to extend Syndergaard just yet because he does have 2 more years of control. So we're going to offer him arbitration. He wants 10.1 million. So actually, what I'm going to do is go through the arbitration and the contracts and just take care of that, just so that we don't waste too much time on that. But after that, I'll meet you guys at the main screen here, and we'll continue into the offseason. Alright, so I went through and we got all the arbitration done and all the contracts. 2 guys that I don't want to bring back right away is Chris Flexen, who's a 49, not the best there, and then Gagnon, who actually is, I think this is the real Drew Gannon, and this is the wrong one, just based off of how much more realistic the character looks, but we're going to get rid of this one. We're going to get rid of the real Drew Gannon, just because I don't need to, and I think he is more of a reliever, if I'm remembering correctly, and this guy's making less money. So that takes care of that. Everybody else has been offered a contract or arbitration. Right now we have 83 guys on the roster, so we do have some space to bring in some guys. So first of all, we need a starter. It could be Zach Wheeler. It might not be Zach Wheeler. Number 2, I think actually the bullpen is okay. If we can find some guys who can kind of be at the point where it's like they could make the team, or they might be depth pieces for the right amount of money, then we might bring them in. I wouldn't mind to get another like backup catcher in case Mesoraco struggles a bit. Aside from that, it's kind of like, oh yeah, we got a lot of first basemen. I forgot about that. That's going to be something that is taken care of in the beginning of next video, so the beginning of the regular season, where we kind of decide between Alonso and Smith, because I'm not sure if there's room necessarily in the game here to have both of them on the roster, and if that's not the case, then it's kind of like, should we pick one? Do we want to send one down? So I'm not sure. We could definitely get something back for Smith if we choose to trade him, but we'll kind of take care of that a little further along. Second base looks good. Again, another guy we might trade, Jed Lowry. Third base, we have McNeil, or if we keep Lowry, we have Lowry. So we have guys to play third base, so it's a matter of, is it going to make the team too crowded on the infield if we do bring someone in? And I wouldn't mind getting McNeil some regular playing time. So that I'm not so sure. We're going to look to address the third baseman. We do have J.D. Davis, who's a decent bench piece right now. In the outfield, we have Cespedes, Broxton. Oh, Lagares is another guy we might bring back. Of Nimmo and Conforto, of course. Braxton Lee is someone who could play a bench role for us. So maybe we look to bring in someone else in the outfield. I'm not really sure. I'm not sure how important it is to bring in someone who isn't necessarily going to be a major league player for the most part throughout the year, just based off of the roster that we have right now. And I'm not really sure that we have room for that type of player. But we'll see what presents itself as we move into the off season here. But yeah, just to go through the roster a little bit there. And it's always good to get some depth. But again, the injuries are off, so it's not as important. But yeah, moving on. And in case anybody doesn't know, for the arbitration, I saw it written, or I saw it pop up here once recently, but so arbitration, it's going to be after 3 years of service up to free agency, which is after 6 years, so 3 years of arbitration. But for between 2 and 3 years, the top 22% of players in that group between 2 and 3 years of service, they get an extra year of arbitration, I think. So that's how that works. And then, of course, the contracts, if you're under that, your contract is renewable. It's not going to, the higher up you get from renewable contracts to arbitration to free agency, the more money you can potentially make. So just in case anybody's a little unsure with that. The arbitration thing was interesting, though. I just actually recently saw that, and it kind of cleared it up for me, because I knew sometimes guys got an extra year, and I was a little unsure. But yeah, Let's see who's in free agency. All right, so right away we got a couple guys here. Not a super deep pitching class, so we might look to bring back Wheeler on a 1-year deal if possible. Not really a big fan of anybody else here. Ramirez isn't bad, but his stamina is not as high as we'd like it. Hamels is a little bit older. Bumgarner's going to cost a decent amount of money that I don't really know. Oh, he's only 15. That's not as much as I thought. Keuchel, I don't really know if I want him, but man, to get Bumgarner, that'd be crazy. We'll come back to that, but yeah, let's see who else is out here. I'm trying to think, who do we have? We have Diaz in the bullpen, Familia, Hendricks, and then it kind of gets a little questionable. So 3 definites. Gil Martin looks good, but there's always a question mark near him because he hasn't necessarily proven himself over a long period of time. Same with Sewald. Lugo had a rough year. Burnett's a little iffy, and Gazelman had a good year, but he's only a 73. So we got a lot of question marks, or potential question marks. 3 definites. So I don't know that we necessarily need, as I said before, anyone in the bullpen. Though there are a few guys here that wouldn't be too bad of an option to get. I wouldn't mind getting Strupp, but we might pass on him. What if we just got like Bumgarner to really solidify that rotation, and we traded Matz, and then we brought back... No, that'd be a little too expensive. But we could go with Bumgarner. We might have enough money to do that. Catchers, I wanted to get potentially a backup. So let's see what we can find here. I think it's also important to see how they did last year, to see how they're trending at the moment. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to Gomes. Castro, his offense is a little low. Lucroy, not too bad of an option, though he is trending down. Is he a little bit older? He is a little bit older than Gomes. So what if we brought in Gomes? I just want to see how much. He wanted 3.2. Gomes wants about the same, but I like him a little bit better just for what he's done recently. So what if we brought him in on a 1-year deal to be the backup catcher over Mesoraco, and Mesoraco is kind of that third catcher on the roster. First base, we are good at first base. That is for sure. Second base, we're good at second base. Oh my God, what did they do to his face? In the picture, it doesn't look right. But Flores, I would love to bring him back, but it's not the right fit just right now. Flores is amazing. But moving on to third base, I don't really necessarily want to bring someone in. This guy doesn't look too bad, actually. Why not? Or bring back Cabrera? No, I think this guy, Freddie Rhodes, would be a better fit just because it could get very crowded on the infield if we don't end up trading Lowry, who, again, I'm not entirely sure that we're going to trade just yet. I don't need any shortstops. And then, of course, the outfield. Span's getting gray there, but let's see if there's anyone on the outfield we can bring in. So we have Cespedes. I know I looked at this already, but I forget really quickly because there's a lot of names going through my head. Broxton, Nimmo, and Conforto. And then we had a 70 in Alcantara. I don't trust him necessarily, but it depends on if we bring back Lagares. So is there a better option here than Lagares to kind of be that fourth outfield bat? So I'm not going to go after Marte. He's more of a starter. Maybe Eaton? Eaton wouldn't be a bad choice. Or Markakis. But we have a lot of lefties. Eaton's a lefty too. Alright, so that's an issue. Broxton is a righty. No. Yes. Is Broxton a righty? Okay, Broxton is a righty. I completely forgot. So we could get a lefty hitting outfielder to be the backup, and I think Eaton or Markakis would be nice options there. They're very, very solid players. 4.6, and Eaton wants 4.7. He's much younger though. I almost feel bad taking him as like a 4th or 5th outfield spot because I feel like he should be an everyday player. But it's a game, and we're trying to make a good team here. So I think I'm going to offer Eaton a deal for 2 years. Maybe increase it just a little bit. 10.2. See if he accepts that. So I like that. Now, who have we offered already? We offered Eaton, Gomes, and Rhodes. That's right. Okay. So yeah, we're going to go big here. We're going to offer Bumgarner imagine Bumgarner, DeGrom, Syndergaard as your 1, 2, 3. Now, if Wheeler was performing like he has in the past in real life, having them as a 1, 2, 3, 4, that's insane. But we are going to move on from Wheeler, I think. But yeah, Bumgarner. I would not mind getting Bumgarner. So he wants 15.4. 5 years. We'll take him through age 34 with a player option. I mean, technically he's not going to be the ace because we have DeGrom. Yeah, I kind of like this. If we can afford it, that would be insane. I think we're going to go with that for right now. So we have Bumgarner, we offered 5-year deal to, Eaton a 2-year deal, Gomes a 1-year deal, and Rhodes, who could actually turn into a decent player. I don't think he's... Why am I going on the roster? Rhodes. Forgot what he was. Yeah, so he's pretty good contact-wise, more so versus lefties. He's durable. He could definitely work on the fielding, but he has some decent speed, and he's only 22, B potential. So he's not a bad guy to have kind of as a depth piece. Might not be on the 40-man roster, though, just yet. But these 3 guys could be big for our team. So let's actually look at the 40-man, see what we're working with. We only have 29 guys on the 40-man roster, so we have room to add to that if we need to. Just want to see if there's anyone worth adding. He's not eligible. Peterson eligible? No, he's not. JD Davis, he's on the 40-man roster. What am I doing? Anybody else? I don't know if there's anybody else. Yeah, usually I don't worry about guys, under a 70, and even sometimes in the low 70s, it's very unlikely that they'd get picked. But yeah, I think we're good on the 40-man roster. Let's see if we can, hopefully, fingers crossed, get some of these guys. We got Bumgarner to a 5-year deal, $77 million. That could be a bit of a steal, depending on what he does this season, but that's a good pitcher to have as our number 2 or number 3. And it gets us a nice lefty that we can hopefully rely on in that rotation, as Matt's is a little bit questionable. So that was big. That was really big. I pressed the wrong button. Okay, that's exciting. That's exciting that we have Bumgarner now. So we have DeGrom. Right now, our rotation is DeGrom, Syndergaard, Bumgarner, Teheran, and Matz. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I wouldn't mind getting another depth piece who could, if we need him to pitch at the major league level, just to have him there. But I'm not going to worry about that just yet. Did we sign any of the other guys? Did we sign Eaton? I think we signed Eaton. We did! Alright, so Eaton's there as well. So we have a really nice outfield to go along with that rotation. This is exciting. This is a good team. It's looking like a good team. The infield is crowded as it is. And the bullpen hopefully is could be good. It could be good if some of these guys perform well. All right, so let's see if we can get what's his name, Gomes. Ozuna signed a 5-year deal with the Brewers. Okay, so I'm staying in this NL Central. Bogarts went to the Rangers on a 4-year deal. Surprised he didn't get more than that. He's only 27. He's a good player. Surprised he didn't get more than that. Alright, so let's move to here. 40-man roster. I think we're good. Did we get Gomes? We did. We signed Gomes to a... What was it? It was just a 1-year deal, but still, very good backup catcher, I think. And we'll see how he does. And we have Mesoraco. If one of them struggles, the other can kind of step in. So that is looking really good. Free agency, I do... Oh, no. That's not good. I mean, we're just barely positive. 85K. I really wanted to sign a... I kind of wanted to sign one of these guys just as a depth piece, but maybe we'll look to do that once we're done with the offseason, and maybe we trade Lowry to clear up some money. The only problem is, once Cano starts to trend down, he's going to be a big, like, black hole with the salary. So we might move him if that ever happens. And if he doesn't retire, because he is 37. So we'll see about that. But right now he's performing, so I'm okay with him. Lowry is making... How much is he making? 10.8. So if we moved him, we could clear up some money, in general, moving forwards, and definitely have a lot left over to use some on a depth piece in the starting rotation, and even a bullpen piece for depth as well. So we'll see about that, because we do still have 87. We have 3 open spots on the organization. We don't need to fill them, but they are there. So let's keep moving here. Keep simming through here. The Braves signed Rendon, so switching over to the Braves, staying in the NL East. 6-year deal for $92.7 million, so a nice contract for him. Very good player as well. Nate Jones, the reliever, moves to the Indians on a 2-year deal. All right. Not too many big name notifications here for player contracts being signed. The Twins are interested in a trade. Royce Lewis for Domps. That actually might really work out. The only thing is, I'm nervous about it. In case Alonso doesn't work out and Smith turns into something really good. But we do have Bentz here, who I'm excited about. He's pretty good. Smith is the only A potential, though. But we do really want Alonso. This could be an interesting trade. Hold on a second. Royce Lewis, 20 years old, potential face of the Twins moving forward. 64 overall. A potential. The A is trending down. I don't like the fact that his contact has negative versus lefties. It's only in the 40s. So this is a big if, but it is... I mean, can we add someone else? We can't. We'd have to go back and offer the trade again to see what we could get. I mean, I wouldn't mind if we got like a reliever as well, if we could. Someone with some nice walks per 9, maybe? Is Jay on? He's not on the 40-man roster. So what if we could get him as well? Just to kind of add on to that. Because I don't know. I'm really interested. This would work well. I'm just a little concerned over, even more so than if Smith does well and Alonso doesn't. I'm more concerned over the offensive potential here for Lewis, and if he develops. Yeah, let's see if we can adjust that. Nope, that's the wrong team. Where are the Indians? I mean the Twins. Alright, so he was a shortstop. So we got Royce Lewis and just a... Do they have anyone here? I'm just trying to see if anybody has good walks per 9. But I don't think so, and that's getting into the 50s. So we might just see if we can add on that reliever, Tyler J, who's a lefty. Not the best walks per 9 or hits per 9, but he could turn into someone. Wow, that... Wait a minute. We can make this trade, can't we? Ooh, just barely. Just barely misses. Alright, let's see if we can add someone in here. Is there anyone we're open to trading? PJ Conlon. That'll get it done. Let's do it. Questionable trade, honestly, but if it works out, it would be really good. Alright, so looking at that trade to, or not trade, but signing to try to get another starter is kind of important right now. What is the budget at? Negative 68? Oh no. I didn't realize that. But that's probably from some of the arbitration guys. Uh-oh. We might have to trade Lowry. Because I really don't want to trade Cano just yet. Who's in, actually, just to see who's in the Rule 5 draft. Yeah, isn't that the YouTuber Cougs? I think it is. They have some guys I noticed that they put in the game. So that's really cool. Christian Arroyo. Alright, I don't really think that we have too much room here. But I think, yeah, that's our guy. Yeah, because there's no one that I necessarily want to stick on the 25 Major League roster. So I think we're going to ignore that. See if anybody got taken. No, they did not. So that's good. And we'll just kind of sim along here. So the Diamondbacks acquired Kiermaier from the Rays, another big trade for Ketel Marte, John Duplantier, and Blaze Alexander. That's a cool first name. And then the Cubs acquired Joey Wendell from the Rays for Steve Cishek, Victor Caratini, and Braylon Marquez. Alright, let's keep going. Keep going. We'll just move past that. I don't think we need to sign any coaches. No, I think we're good there. Okay, so the only thing that we need to do now is move forward through here, check the scouts, and then see if we can't make a trade. So at first base we have Alonso. Bentz is coming up. He's pretty much just as good as Smith was, which is a big reason why I made that trade. Cano's at second. McNeil is good. Herrera has potential. Who else? Did we trade? I can't even remember. We traded Guillorme. We did. Okay. Lowry is the big if. He was trending down last season. Alright, so we have Freddie Rhodes as well. Rosario, Lewis, who doesn't look like he can do much offensively just yet. So maybe we do trade... What's his name? Lowry. See what we can get for him. Let's see what we can get. Actually, I'm going to do this off screen to save a little bit of time, and I'll meet you guys if we find anything. If not, we'll head back to the main screen and move forward just a little bit, and see how everything sets up moving into the regular season. Alright, so I think I'm going to move him to the Red Sox. This isn't the, I didn't really necessarily go too deep into this trade. I'm really mostly just trying to clear up some salary. But to get back someone who has the potential to play at the major league level in Hernan Perez and Lynn, who's more of a depth piece, and we have room on the 40-man roster. So, I think this trade could work out for us in both the now and the future. So we're going to do this mostly, again, just to clear up some salary. And Lowry gets to go back to the Red Sox where he started his career, so that's really cool. Now, we need to figure something out here. The budget is where? I just saw it. The budget, oh my god. Negative 313. Not good. Not good at all. That's really bad. Okay. So we might have to look to switch that up, but I might wait to do it until during the regular season to see how guys perform. For right now, I don't think we could afford really anyone here. I wouldn't mind signing him, but he wants 1.6. Can we? No. We can't. His walks per 9 were so good, that's why I was interested. But maybe Whitley? How much does he want? 1.6. They want a lot of money. Alec Asher wants how much? I should do this. 570. Can I afford that? I probably can't. I probably can't afford anything right now. Yeah, I really can't. Oh man, I didn't realize that the budget was going to be that low. I don't think I was remembering about the arbitration being added on. Alright, so we might just end this here as the end of the off season. Yeah, and then we'll pick up in spring training, figure out the 25-man roster, and head through the season in the next video. So the big addition was Bumgarner, but money-wise it might come back to bite us. But I'm really excited to see what this rotation can do. Definitely would have preferred at the moment, maybe, to have Wheeler over Matt, but this rotation has a lot of potential. And you know what? We could add Lockett to the 40-man, just as that depth piece for the starting rotation. I'm kind of seeing here if we have anyone that could fill that role, so we don't have to pick anyone up. But that's not a immediate concern for me right now, especially since injuries are off. So yeah, right now the roster is DeGrom, Syndergaard, Bumgarner, Teheran, Matz, and Oswalt. In the bullpen on the 40-man roster, of course, we have Bachelor. Jay could actually be put on there. Giselman, Sewald, Gilmartin, Burnett, Lugo, Hendricks, and Familia. We got Diaz as our closer. Ramos, Gomes is another guy we picked up. Mesoraco at catcher. Alonso at first. We did trade Smith, of course. Cano's at second. We traded Lowry. McNeil's here. Hernan Perez in the trade for Lowry. And Herrera as kind of a depth piece. At third base, we picked up Rhodes, who could definitely play a part moving forward. But for right now, we're going to leave him off the 40-man roster. But we do have J.D. Davis, who's another younger player that could be a nice bench piece for us. Rosario at short. Lynn, who we got in the trade with Boston for Lowry, as a nice depth piece, more so for his defense. And then in the outfield, we have Cespedes, we have Broxton, Eaton, who we picked up on a 2-year deal. We got Lee, Nimmo, and Conforto. So a pretty nice looking team, in my opinion. We're rated second right now, but that is going to drop a little bit, I think, once we get into the regular season with the 25 men that we are going to start the season with. But yeah, looking pretty good. I don't think there's anything I'm forgetting to do. If there is, we can always pick up with it in the next video, or look to I can always do it off screen if there's something I forgot to do. But Yeah, the budget, we do have to figure that out a little bit further into the season. I think that's a little bit too much of a gap there from positive that any of the sponsorships would necessarily move it to be positive. But we'll see. We'll see moving forward. We do have a couple big contracts that we can move if we need to, like Cespedes, Cano if he starts to decline. So that shouldn't necessarily be a problem if we absolutely need to move a contract. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a fun offseason. We got a couple big names. And I'm looking forward to the regular season. Hopefully we can do better than 2019, the first year. But we'll see. And yeah, until the next video, I hope you're all doing well. And I will see you guys in spring training.